Hi there ladies and gentlemen, this is Eastwood for Life fan, and this is a video of my January 2019 DVD, Blu-ray and 4K pickups. First things first, I'd like to say a big thank you to the new subscribers to the channel. And I don't always get notifications through YouTube, it's only now and again that I get them. So it will be cool to hear from the new subscribers to the channel. Post a comment and join us along with the channel. So we'll get to the DVDs, and the first two pickups are DVD sets of my favourite comedy duo in cinema history, and I'm talking about these guys, Laurel and Hardy. And I did miss the Stan and Ollie movie, which I was planning to watch at my local cinema. But there's 3 movies in this DVD set, and I do have the Universal 21 Hal Roach DVD set, but these movies are not included in that set. It contains 3 movies: The Dancing Masters, The Bullfighters, and A Haunting We Will Go. And these are movies that they made in the 1940s after they departed from Hal Roach. And this one's A Haunting We Will Go. I've seen this one way back, and for me the best work that Laurel and Hardy made was with Hal Roach in the late 20s to the early 1940s. This is The Bullfighters, and I actually picked up this set for £7 UK in my local Tesco store. And this is The Dancing Masters. And the second set, this one I bought in Tesco's for £7 UK as well. It comes with 3 movies: The Big Noise, Jitterbugs and Great Guns. Great Guns. And actually they have started putting out Blu-ray releases of some of the Laurel and Hardy movies, but I think I'll wait until there is a full box set. This is Jitterbugs, not one of their best ones. And for me, my favourite Laurel and Hardy movies: Way Out West and Sons of the Desert. And this one's The Big Noise. So that's 2 box sets, DVD sets, for a very reasonable price. And these are movies that were not in the Universal Hal Roach 21 disc set. Next 2 DVDs were freebies that were sent to me from a good friend of mine, and Ready, and we done a trade package. And as a freebie, he gave us this classic Weston, 1940s American Western, Jewel in the Sun. Never seen this one before. I do know it's a classic one. Jennifer Jones, Gregory Peck, a young Gregory Peck, and Joseph Cotton. This was included in our trade package that we did, which I received in early January. So I've not checked this one out. And the other freebie DVD he sent us is this Italian 80s movie, Cut and Run, from the director of Cannibal Holocaust. I have seen this one. Pretty brutal and horrific movie in a lot of the kills in this, and it stars Leonard Mann, who made quite a few spaghetti westerns, Richard Lynch, who was the villain in Invasion USA with Chuck Norris, and also in this movie is Michael Berryman from the Hills Have Eyes movies. And not a bad watch, this Italian 80s movie about a TV reporter and cameraman where they go to report on some brutal murders, and also they go on the trail to look for the son of their missing TV producer. But not a bad movie, this one, in cut and run. And part of that trade package, I've got this blaxploitation western, mid-70s western, Fred the Hammer Williamson in Boss. Never seen this western before. This is actually a Blu-ray and DVD combo pack, as I'm showing off my DVDs now. And actually this release is all region. It does come with alternative artwork, but I much prefer the original cover. White man's town, black man's law. And the last movie from that trade package is this 80s classic slasher movie, the original Maniac, put out by Blue Underground. And I'd always been curious about this movie, as I know this is a big favourite within the horror collecting community on YouTube. A lot of guys rate this movie, Maniac, and I did watch this, and what a great watch this was. A very dark and sleazy slasher movie about a troubled man who goes on a killing spree in New York. And I didn't know that Joe Spinell was the writer and executive producer of this movie, and what a performance he put in this movie. I always thought he was mainly a bit part actor in the movies that I've seen him in the Rocky movies 1 and 2 and The Godfather, but great slasher movie in Maniac, and a fine release by Blue Underground in this 3-disc limited edition. A couple of Roger Moore movies that I picked up in my local CEX store, and it's been years since I've watched this one. Shout at the Devil, mid-70s pre-war World War I movie, Roger Moore and Lee Marvin. And this one's set in Africa, where they set out to destroy a German battle cruiser. Yep, set in East Africa, this one. Haven't seen this movie since my teenage days, and this one's actually the uncut version of this movie. And I've been told that the uncut version is 2 hours 29 minutes, and most versions of this movie were shown in a two hours release, which is probably the version I'd watched on TV back in the day. Shout at the Devil. Another war movie with Roger Moore. This is a late 70s movie, Escape to Athena. And this is another one that I'd seen back in my teenage years. And looking at this, I didn't realise this movie was directed by George P. Cosmatos, and he directed 2 Sylvester Stallone movies in Rambo First Blood 2 and Cobra. And what a great cast there is in this movie, starring Richard Roundtree from the original Shaft movies, Roger Moore, who was the third James Bond, Telly Savalas, David Niven, Stephanie Powers from the Heart to Heart TV series, Claudia Cardinale, Elliot Gould as well in this movie. But that's one thing I liked about these war movies from the 60s and 70s. They always used to have a great cast in these movies. This one is Escape to Athena, a World War II movie. Another movie from the 70s, and this one is Breakout, starring Charles Bronson, Robert Duvall and Jill Ireland. And this is a Indicator and Powerhouse Films release that was released in late January. Had to pick this one up. Big Charles Bronson fan, and I did have the German edition of this movie, which I sold. And this one has more features. And this one is limited to 3,000 copies. And normally, the first run of the Indicator releases comes with a booklet. And quite a fun Charles Bronson movie, this one, where Bronson plays a hired pilot who gets paid to rescue an innocent man in a prison in Mexico. And the innocent man is played by Robert Duvall, and he's hired by Jill Ireland. And also in this movie is John Huston. And not your usual Charles Bronson role, as he so often played Indians, Mexicans, hitman, or an assassin, a cop, or a vigilante. But this one's a fun watch, and it was based on a true story. And there's a little feature on the real Breakout. Good to have another UK release of a Charles Bronson film, and there's more scenes of the movie. And there is the original poster of Breakout. And I do like that little bit on the top. Sentenced to 28 years in prison for a crime he never committed. Only two things can get him out: a lot of money and Charles Bronson. Another fine release from Indicator. The next title is a Arrow video steelbook, and this is the second steelbook edition. I did try to pick up the first one, but that one's going for crazy money. And this is Big Trouble in Little China, John Carpenter movie with Kurt Russell, and this is their fourth movie that they made together. And loads of special features, as Arrow always supply on their releases. And this one comes with a nice booklet. And actually this was a movie that didn't really perform that well at the box office, but was a bit of a cult favourite. Kurt Russell in this movie with Kim Cattrall. And this one's kind of a martial arts, fantasy and comedy movie. And that's the picture that was featured on the first Arrow video steelbook release of this movie. Kurt Russell and Cattrall. and a mysterious underworld beneath Chinatown, who Kurt Russell discovers. So he plays the character of Jack Burton, and many of you would probably consider The Thing and Escape from New York as the best movies that Carpenter and Kurt Russell made together, but I'd probably consider this one the third best one that they made. They did do 5 movies together, and I actually do know that there is a possible remake of Big Trouble in Little China, and I'm hearing that the lead role could go to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So a nice booklet about the movie. Fun John Carpenter movie, this one. That's the steelbook, second edition of Big Trouble in Little China. TV series that I picked up. This is season 2 of True Detective, starring Colin Farrell and Vince Vaughn. Absolutely loved the first season of True Detective, and in that series, or season 1, it was Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, but different actors in this one. This was actually a cheap buy, and I do know that season 3 has started. The next 5 titles are 4K and Blu-ray releases, and this one is Batman Begins, directed by Christopher Nolan. In fact, he done all 3 of the Dark Knight trilogy movies, and this one's a limited edition film book, 40 pages. Batman Begins. A young Bruce Wayne learns the art of martial arts, where he gets ready to bring out his own justice against the criminals in Gotham City. A great movie, this one, Batman Begins, starring Christian Bale. The next one is the sequel, The Dark Knight. This one is a 4K Blu-ray release. This one's a 36 limited edition film book. Fantastic role played by Heath Ledger, who plays the Joker, a rising criminal in Gotham City who Batman has to deal with in the sequel. And the third one, which I've not seen actually, is The Dark Knight Rises. And this also is a 36 page limited edition film book. Now, I picked this up in the January Zavvi sale, and they normally retail at $24.99, but I actually picked up all 3 of them for the price of 55 UK pounds. Not seen this one, but I do know that Batman goes against the villain Bane, played by Tom Hardy, and also know that Morgan Freeman is in this movie, as well as Gary Oldman and the reliable butler, played by Michael Caine. The last movie in the Dark Knight trilogy, all directed by Christopher Nolan. The last 2 sets are deluxe sets, and this is the classic movie directed by Ridley Scott. Harrison Ford in Blade Runner, and this is the 4K and Blu-ray set. And I did try to pick this up before Christmas at HMV, but it was all sold out and sold out online, so I had to get this from a seller on eBay. And what a set this is of a great movie. Harrison Ford plays the Blade Runner who has to hunt down 4 replicants who arrive on Earth. But great movie. I've heard that this one is a great watch in 4K, the original Blade Runner movie. And the last one is the sequel, Blade Runner 2049. And I bought this in my local HMV store, and great news that HMV will still be with us. This comes with the 4K Blu-ray, a bonus disc, 5 art cards and a booklet. The sequel, where Ryan Gosling searches for Harrison Ford in this movie. I've yet to see this movie yet, but I'm due to go 4K very soon, so I'll definitely be checking out the 2 Blade Runner movies, and I'll probably be doing an unboxing of the Dark Trilogy sets that I picked up, as well as these Blade Runner Deluxe editions. So that is my update for January 2019. So guys, till the next video, stay healthy and keep on collecting.